Out your number strips, you're ready to roll, you're trying to get a good grade for that. I forgot, you can always get your group grade. That's another grade for the week. That's supposed to be a nice gimme. I kind of alluded to this last week, but now we need to actually practice it this week. So, for instance, the square root of 47 is the same thing as 47 raised to the 1/2 power. They're identical. They're twins. So the problem that says 11 to the 1/7 is really the same as the 7th root of 11. Okay, so what's going on is the little tiny number that lives out here, which has a name. Do you remember what its name is? Yes, 2 points for Hunter's group. The index ends up moving to the denominator. The index goes in the denominator. Again, and it works both ways. It was in the denominator. Notice how it became the index. So if we want to rewrite number 2, what should I do? Right now it's in exponential form and I want it in radical form. I want it to have a house. I put the 15 under the house and then what? Yes, we're going to put the 3 at the index. Hunter gets another point for his grade. Again, what was in the denominator is now becoming the index. Okay, so someone besides Hunter, can you rewrite number 5? I don't want a house. I want it raised to some power. So 3a to the 5th b squared raised to some power. What would that power be? 1/3, and Will gets a point because it was in the index. And now it's in the denominator. Now, could we evaluate it from here and keep going? Yes. But all it said was we had to write it in exponential form or write it in radical form, so we're fine. Oh no. What's different about number 3? Jay's group gets a point. That 3 in the numerator is different. So I'm going to have something with a 300. Do I put the 3 or the 2 here? I put the 2 out here. Jay gets another point for her group because, again, the denominator correlates with the index. And then, seriously, I'm going to raise this to the 3rd power. So this is our first one that hasn't had a 1 in the numerator. So what's really cool is that we could write it like this, or we can write it like this. The whole thing raised to the 3rd power. These two are equivalent. Actually, all 3 of these are equivalent. But regardless, as long as Day keeps up with the fact that the denominator goes with the index, and then that other number is I'm raising the whole thing to, she'll be good to go. So, and then number 6, we need help with that one. Perfect. Again, that denominator correlates to that index. Perfect. Okay, so if you were wanting to practice that, and again, Miss Compton is going to assume you're going to practice because you want to make an A on this last test because God forbid you drop your grade really low here at the end. So I'm assuming you want to practice that, which means you probably want to work through 10 through 17. I'm going to go over those answers tomorrow, but if you've not practiced it, me going over the answers is worthless. This fraction is a 3/4. This is a 1/5. This is a 2/7. Why do they write them so tiny? I don't know. Let's see. This one is x to the 3rd raised to the 3/2. Again, I will have these answers posted tomorrow, or I will go over these answers tomorrow, but if Addison doesn't try it herself, what really is the point in life? Okay, then one other thing I want to say before I let you work on your math workshop test is, man, I love problems that say evaluate. Because that means I get to use my calculator. So we need to type this into our calculator. Now, if Addison wants to, she can rewrite it as third root negative 27 all raised to the second power. She can type either of these into her calculator. She can. In fact, we talked last week about how to type in a cube root into our calculator. What button do you press in order to type a cube root into your calculator? Yes, Mackenzie and Seth's group can have a point. You press math. And then, so I could do cube root negative 27. And then I could press enter, and then I could raise that to the second power. And I get 9. And that's great, and that's the answer. But, man, it's even easier if we type in radical form an exponential form rather than radical form. It's way easier when there are exponents. So if I type in negative 27, what button do we press in order to get a fraction button? If you said alpha y equals, which I know 2 groups did, you get a point. Oh, that would help. That would have really helped. Why did I not think of that? Negative 27 raised to the, it's the caret button. It does look like a house top. I like that. Alpha y equals 2 over 3. Oh, Miss Compton. Get it together this morning. 2 divided by 3. And I got negative 9, which is the correct answer. Or is that the correct answer? Did I type that in right? I don't think I should have put my negative 27 in parentheses, Miss Brister. I think it should be positive 9. Because cube root of 27, the negative 27 would be negative 3, but negative 3 squared is still going to be positive 9. Okay, so the answer is supposed to be positive 9. And here's how Miss Compton went wrong. Again, she didn't use parentheses. We've got to make sure we're putting things in parentheses, people. If you are like me, and Miss Brister loves that alpha y equals fraction key, I'm lazy and normally in a hurry, so I don't bother with the fraction key. If you don't want to bother with the fraction key, negative 27 raised to the, and I just put the fraction in parentheses. I don't actually press the fraction key. I just raise it and put the fraction in parentheses. Either way, I still get positive 9. Okay, so we evaluated number 7. If you can evaluate number 8 before I can, you can get your group point. And Kenzie gets her group point. It is 6. But again, if you don't want to press that fraction button, 216 raised to the 1/3, and just putting the 1/3 in parentheses, I'm still going to get the right answer. The only reason we were having difficulties on number 7 is because of that negative 27 out front. Okay, and then number 9 is going to blow our mind. So if you can beat me to that answer and not say it with a question mark. Yes. And you get your group another point, ma'am. I sure did, and you can get your group point, Natalie. I knew it didn't feel right. But again, we just practiced, like that one I did mess up. Bless you, Natalie, for noticing. We had just talked about, if you wanted to write this in radical form, it would be 2 0.0004, because the denominator is the index. So I could have done square root of 0.0004 and gotten the same answer. Radical form, exponential form, they're the same, so you're going to get the same answer either way. It would be genius of Addison to type it in multiple ways and make sure she's getting the same decimal every time. Because, again, while I love the evaluate problems because I get to use my calculator, when I can't show Miss Compton any work and I have the wrong number, I lose all my points for no good reason. So let's not be that person. Okay, are there any questions about this? We will discuss a little more about this tomorrow, and then seriously, we're going to have a test with this kind of thing on it on Wednesday.